Hello? Can I hear Michael? Can you hear Michael?
Hi. Hi. I'm here.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes. Okay, just one request. Somebody, could I have a glass of water, please?
Luke, I'm just going to give everyone a few more minutes before we start, okay? I've muted you, Luke, sorry.
Okay. Tonight we're going to do some storytelling, and the story ending is the climax discovery and why it is so amazing, this stuff. I've done about 40 hours study on oils and omega-6 and omega-3, but the trick is trying to get people to understand in simple terms, in like, cells for dummies. Not too clever like professors. All the professors talk and mate, you're gone. And there's so many benefits that this stuff does. We want to minimize that because it's too many. Yeah.
Okay, folks, I'm just going to start off with a little bit of an introduction. And there's one housekeeping update for everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming on board. Again, one of these busy Monday for us to get some partners' insight within the Z Dream Team community here. This evening, we have a very inspiring speaker, Luke Mitchell, that will be addressing us shortly. So we'll come to that in a moment. Now, while I think we have about 12.5 of us here, most of you already would have already learned about the Master Transformation Program that I'm actually working on. The self-navigation program is about ready. I've been in discussion with the founders and also the master trainers. The question that I have for all partners here is, of course, you can't show of hands in this case here, is to maybe get onto the group chat and let me know how many of you would like to take the transformation course. It would be a hugely discounted. It's more for us to run a little bit of an internal audit, just to test run this particular program. It's actually very interesting. It has self-navigation, meaning to help prepare you from your north, south, east, west kind of a navigation as to where are you currently at in your career, in your life, in basically in your existence today. So I think that's very interesting. So I like to somehow send a message through the group chat to gain some understanding how many of you would be interested to participate in this navigation program, okay? So we'll be in contact with you shortly. So this is as much as what we have to share with you this evening. Now, without further ado, I'm just going to hand the evening to Luke Mitchell. I've known Luke for over 12 years, and all these years he has been into energy medicine, cellular regenerative medicine, and he has, if anyone at all in the region, has a lot of experience, if not exposure, through various different ways of energizing your inner health, if you may, so that you are able to be regenerated and, of course, to be optimized. So we are very honored this evening to have the pleasure of Luke Mitchell sharing with us his insights and vast knowledge in the field of cellular regeneration. So over to you, Luke.
Okay, are we on air?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So thank you for that lovely, lovely introduction. I'll record that and keep that. Thank you very much, Michael. I know Michael from Malacca when I was with Dr. Ishak down there for about 7 years with the cancer clinic. And time goes on and we've reconnected. So what I want to share to you tonight is my 18 years journey into anti-aging and cell regeneration. And that I keep learning. And in the last 3 months, I've got a great surprise discovery to add to my anti-aging cell regeneration protocol, mainly for me and my family and friends. But of course, I share this with the people that want to inspire to get healthy in this pandemic times. So if we start off with that, I'm going to have to put a lot of 18 years into about 35 minutes. Is it, Michael? About 35 minutes. I'll have a timekeeper. If Catherine, if you just pass me my passport on here, Zoom. Share my screen. It's ready to go. My PowerPoint, is it? Let's try that. I'm an Apple button. Okay, let's go over here. This one. Okay, we're going to put the PowerPoint on, share, and as you can see, I've got a very simple PowerPoint for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. My audio is still going? Okay, so the subject is not omega-3, not omega-6. It's not all about talking about oil tonight because I want to share with you what I've been through, my experience, and the miracles, if you want to say, the amazing stuff I've seen in Malaysia with reverse cell regeneration, with reversing degenerative diseases. I can't say too much about what we've done in Malaysia because people will say that's not possible. And a lot of the stuff that I will share, maybe some of you won't even believe it works. So what I will share, I'm mainly into technology, and what we want to share today is teach you a little bit about the basics of how a cell works. Rather than fixing a disease or taking medication, if you just clean, lubricate, and charge up your cells and give them what it takes makes them happy to vibrate and dance, and they can send their cell signals and communicate, they will do all the work for you. So basically, you know, if you learn the 5 best basic things in the cell, you do that for it, it'll be very happy and they'll start dancing again, and then your immune system will be optimized and away we go. So firstly, I'm about 75 trillion cells, but the average person, they say, is 100 trillion cells. So that's a lot of cells. Now, we won't go into all, we're going to get too scientific, we keep it simple, but there's tissue cells, there's blood cells, there's organ cells, there's nerve cells, but basically how cells run. Now, some cells can regenerate in 120 days, we're going to talk about that later, and some cells take 2 years to regenerate. But the good news is they can regenerate and you have a brand new organ one day, if you're doing the right thing. So the main thing is to clean and protect and hydrate, lubricate and charge your cells. Basically, like getting it, if we're over 50, I'm 58 years young, I say, and I'm pretty happy about that. I've got a new baby coming, and basically 60 coming soon. So if you get a 1963 Ferrari, you need to clean the bolts and put new spark plugs on. So, you know, we put good water in a car, good oils in a car, must have good spark plugs, good points, good computer relay systems. Otherwise, it's going to be out of harmony, and small things in a car that won't run well. And then the car will be struggling, and if you push it, something's going to break. Okay, so that's the next one is, we'll try this little arrow. Okay, my background, why, you know, I'm basically, again, Michael said, I've been in electronic medicine or microcurrent for 18 years. I started in Singapore, and we got an echo there, somebody's not muted. Okay, so now that's the background where I come in, and basically I'm an ex-TV host, speaker, and I got recruited by a Singapore company. Here's some of my background. So, you know, why should you listen to this funny Australian guy in Malaysia? I've been here about 13 years, and, you know, I've been in electronic medicine, cell regeneration for now 18 years. So there's a little short bit about my background. Otherwise, why would you listen to me unless you want to talk about surfing or fishing? Okay, so next slide. Let's have a look at this. This is a brand new computer. Oh, there we go. Okay, so one of the things that I've been doing for many years is just sharing something called ATP in the cell. And it's, for me, it's the first thing I learned. And when I was 40 years old and I went into electronic medicine, I discovered ATP at 40. So ATP is adenosine triphosphate, and actually you need to make it every 8 seconds in every cell in your body. So that's a lot of work, and that takes a lot of energy to make ATP every 8 seconds. But actually you need energy. This is whatever force we believe in, whatever energy you need to make, a lot of energy to make ATP. Now, you've got to be careful that you're not using too much energy to make ATP, because then you've got a deficit and you're wasting your energy. Okay, so the only thing that heals you is energy. Nothing else. No supplements, no machines. So I'm going to share with you some of the machines and stuff that I've used. Now, I have about $250,000 worth of machines for myself and my friends and ex-patients. But, you know, ATP is the key for me until the last 2 months, because ATP is crucial. Okay, so the second thing I want to share with you is a little bit about Q10, and we'll go to the next slide. You know, energy technologies, we'll get past that one. And I specialized in ultra microcurrents, because cells are really, really tiny. And now we're going to just go straight to the whiteboard a little bit and just give you the basics of cells. So let's have a look. I've got Judith on the camera there. Catherine, on my screen, I have Judith. Yeah, so you can see me? You can see me on the whiteboard? Okay, we're doing a little whiteboard. So we'll see how this goes. So basically, we have a cell. We want to talk about the cells because we're going to be talking about cell regeneration. Now, healthy cells are very round. Can we see that with the lighting? Can we see that, everybody? Because I've got a little screen. Is that clear? And you can see that there's 2 lines here. We have an outside cell membrane and an inside cell membrane. Now, this is stuff I learned at 40, which is 18 years ago, and I'm so glad I learned it then. I wish I learned it at 30. So we're going to talk about ATP. Was my first secret discovery. I'm going to share 3 discoveries today with you after 18 years. So basically, inside the cell, we have a thing. This is the largest word I'm going to share for everybody out there, because a lot of these YouTube, I know whether you want to talk about ATP, cell synthesis, or cell signaling, they use a lot of big words, and that's where people lose people. So we want to keep this science very simple, like me. Okay. Somebody's got to unmute. Okay, so inside the cell, we have something that's very important called the mitochondria. Okay, and inside the mitochondria, we have something even more important, which is called the matrix. That's as big as it gets. We're not going to go into all the other stuff, but actually inside the matrix is where the ATP is made. Now, ATP is adenosine triphosphate. That's on the slide. Adenosine triphosphate. You don't need to know that. If you look up, go to virtual cell, study ATP. It's your new lesson today. ATP is the secret to my life, and I've been looking and searching for anything and everything with lots of technologies. I'm not normally a supplement guy, but to get more ATP, because why that's important, ATP is the currency and the source of energy to process your vitamins, to run your heart, to run your liver, to run your brain. And then we can talk about it's actually a microcurrent. Your heart runs on electricity. Now, a lot of people don't think so. So our body is 80% water with 75 or 100 trillion cells, little batteries, and every one of them have a generator in there making currency energy or ATP. So the Chinese will call it Qi, but I'm going to tell science is ATP. So this ATP, the good news is it runs your body. The bad news is you're naturally designed and programmed to age. But now we age faster. But even a healthy person loses 25% production of this ATP. To me, ATP is more important than, we need our water, more important than any other supplement out there. My second thing I want to share with you is Q10. So I'm not here to sell Q10, but I've found the best Q10 in the world and people invent it. I only find the best stuff in the world. So to make this ATP, you need to have Q10. It's a coenzyme. It's an 8-second cycle with many molecules, but in the middle, you need Q10 to make this ATP. Now, if you don't have ATP, after 20 seconds, you're dead. Okay, that's what cyanide does. Cyanide cuts the ATP program. So the next thing you need to know is when you're 40, this is where a lot of people get in trouble. People are getting in trouble at 35 now, is your Q10 production in your body makes Q10, drops this 25%. So that is when people are now in trouble, because that's like having a V8 that's lost 2 cylinders and 2 spark plugs, and you're still trying to race it like a 20-year-old. And that is not good. You're also more polluted at 40, and you've got a lot of detoxing to do. So this is ATP is the energy that you need to produce to run everything in your body, and you have to make it every 8 seconds. Now, do the calculations in 24 hours, how many times you need to do that. So again, write down ATP, go to YouTube, learn about it, because you want you to learn about cells. If you're talking about this Zinzino oil, you need to know a little bit about cells, not just about the omega-6 and omega-3, okay? So my question is this amazing technology in a bottle increasing ATP? That was the first one I want to know. So I'm talking to people about that, but indirectly it is. Okay, so when you've got your 25% reduction, you now are struggling to run your body. That's if you're not overweight. Okay, so now if you're polluted, you've got a lot of detoxing to do. So you need this energy to clean your body every day. Okay, so Q10, your body makes it. So basically, you need to take that supplement over 40 and 50. Okay, so I know the best Q10. One of my mentors invented a different Q10. And I want to share with you, there's lots of electronic gadgets out there. 99 out of 100 don't work. Okay, there's lots of Q10 out there when something's important. There's, is it 2% Q10? Is it fermented 2 times or 5 times? So again, I buy the best Q10. I can't get it in Malaysia. It's from Australia. And you take one of those Q10s and you have to take 20 different other Q10s to get the same feeling. So I want to share that your cells produce energy, and we need this energy to push out the toxins, okay? Because otherwise you get a very full cell full of pollution. And now there's a lot of things that have to happen in a cell, 10,000 reactions every hour in your cell. Now, if this cell is full of omega-6 sludge for 30 years of bad eating, and it's full of, cockroach spray, it's full of carbon monoxide, this cell, how do we get all these movements that have to be done inside the cell done? So basically you got a stagnant, sludgy cell at 40 or 50, and you're less energy to move it out. Okay, so that's inside the cell, and then you need to have lots of ATP, and then you need to have lots of Q10 to process vitamins. So a lot of people, if you wanted to buy vitamins first, there's no sense having vitamins if you have a dirty cell with low Q10 and low ATP, because you are not going to have the energy to process them vitamins into energy. Now, ATP is energy, and if you don't have enough energy, how do you process the vitamins and minerals into energy? Okay, so this is a bit of a trick. Okay, so I just want to share that with you. They're the main things that I've been doing for ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and then Q10 is very important. And this is when we're talking about the drop in health quality. And this is when many, many, many so-called diseases will come into your life at 40. Some people at 30 now. So they're called degenerative diseases because actually that current has dropped. So I'm going to wipe the whiteboard. So I want to get you so important how that if you look after yourselves, that everything is possible in the matrix. If you keep the matrix running right, you can make lots of ATP, and everything is reversible in my world. There is no disease. So I just want to show you one more whiteboard. So basically, what I also learned 18 years ago is on the cell membrane. So I'm going to talk a bit about the cell membrane. Now, a cell is about 1 million times smaller than that, okay? It's so tiny. So we're now blowing one cell up out of 100 trillion cells. Now, 50 years ago, for some reason, scientists, medical scientists, got a machine to measure the electronic potential difference, EPD, on a cell membrane. Now, why would they do that? I don't know, but we're glad they did it. And what they discovered is very important to me. And this changed my life when I saw this, when I started to be trained in a Singapore company. What they discovered that a cancer cell, stage 4, if you measure the difference between the charge on the outside, the electronic charge on the outside of a cell membrane and the difference between the inside, the difference is, you take the outside is minus 200 millivolt, not volts, and the inside is minus 180 millivolts. Okay, so your EPD, your electron potential difference on the cell membrane, is minus 20 millivolts. Okay, that is a very sick cell, and it actually wouldn't be round. It would be out of shape. So it's a stage 4 cancer cell is minus 20 millivolts. So that changed my life when I saw this. Okay, so now if that's a really sick, super sick, stage 4 out the door cell, what is a healthy 5-year-old, clean, healthy old, like my daughter's cell? They are around about 110 millivolts. Depending which professor you speak to, some might say minus 90 millivolts. Okay, so now imagine this is a meter on your car. This is a life meter. When I saw this, that's like a fuel tank. This person's running on empty, the car's gonna die. So is a person very soon. And this person's got a full tank of energy and the current is running right. Everything's running right. So here we have a meter showing you, why would I use drugs for cancer if I have electronic difference? So this is how I got involved in it. And actually, I'm not gonna, we've treated Dr. Ishak, I've got some gurus. So this was a game changer for me. So why would I be using drugs or chemo or whatever else, even vitamins, if I could turn this back, this stage 4 cancer minus 20 back and head it that way? So I just want to share with you, your heart runs electricity, your brain runs electronic neurotransmitters, your cells create electricity with ATP. You can die from electric shock and they can bring you back to the defibrillator. So even though we're not made of metal, we're a conductor full of water. We're a big battery full of batteries and we run electricity, okay? So this is one side of cell regeneration, which I started in, ultra micro. So the first 2 things I'm gonna share is ATP. Look it up, don't believe me, it's very important. You're dead in about 10 to 20 seconds if your body starts using it. Q10, it drops 25% at 40 if you're healthy, which means your car is now running on, 60, 75%, and you're still racing it like a 20-year-old. That's when 40-year-olds, 45-year-olds, heart attacks, strokes, all sorts of things. So degenerative diseases, heart disease is a degenerative disease. The cells are degenerating. Aging cells degenerate naturally. Now, the point is, how can we improve them, give them young current, and have a younger biological age cell? Okay, that's what we're going to be talking about. So we'll go to some more slides. That's just a little, I'm going to give you different bites of a puzzle to put together and investigate. Don't believe anything I say. I've just been studying it 18 years, and I have quite a few gurus that I've worked with and doctors. Share the screen. Okay, we'll go back. So that's our microcurrent section. That's what I've been involved with most of the time, and how to change your cells by donating electrons. So we're going to talk about electron donators. Okay, we're having a problem here again with the buttons, Catherine. The buttons are not working on the PowerPoint. It's a brand new laptop, brand new, the buttons are stiff. Thanks from Jeffrey. Let's have a look here. We're trying to get to the next slide. I did this before. Okay.
Wait,
So while she's doing that again, basically you can be biologically younger than your age. So how do we do this? We have technology to do that. Now, a lot of people, when I've been doing this for 18 years, doesn't matter what proof you show them, unless they are sick and they go on our technologies, it doesn't matter. You can talk forever and ever and ever. They don't believe this works, okay? Because of the way they've been taught. So that's another reason we could help many people in a small, narrow thinking. Okay, so we don't currents. Let's see how we go next. Okay, so what is an antioxidant? You know, now people are okay with having antioxidants. Let's talk about antioxidants. Antioxidants are basically pills, a lot of them. You know, vitamin E, vitamin D, you know, a lot of antioxidants. But what's the purpose of an antioxidant? Now, it's an anti-oxidization agent. But what's the purpose of an antioxidant? It's a pill, but it's a special. Hello, who's that? You? Is that you, Catherine? Ashley? Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's talk about antioxidants. They're very good for you. You hear about them a lot in anti-aging and helping you put your cells back into harmony and balance. But what does an antioxidant do? It's a pill. Now, my machines donated electrons to your sick cells. Okay, we're going to talk about that. And the next subject is, so electron donation is something I've been doing for a long time, but what is an antioxidant pill? Basically, the last thing it does, it goes to your body and finds sick cells and donates an electron. Hang on a minute. Luke's talking about electricity again. Now, I'm not talking about my machines now. I'm not talking about minus 20 millivolts. I'm talking about a pill. But these antioxidants, they keep telling you are really good for anti-aging. It's anti-oxidization agents. But what is oxidization, or what does oxidization do? So let's keep it simple. An antioxidant, the last thing it does, and its sole purpose, is to donate an electron to a sick cell missing electrons. So we're going along the track. We're giving you a tour how I've learned this. So next slide is we'll go to these ones, the bad guys. A lot of people say, oh, anti-free radical cream, anti-free radical pills. Antioxidants are very good for free radicals. You know, free radicals are not free. They're expensive. Have a lot of alcohol, you'll make millions of free radicals in your body. Drink a lot of alcohol, you'll kill a lot of cells or make sick cells. They're free radicals, they're scavenger cells. But what's a free radical? So now the antioxidant goes into your body and donates electron to sick cells only. Now, why is that? So let's do a little explanation about that, cell oxidization and what a free radical is, because a lot of people use these words, but they actually don't know the purpose or the core result that it's trying to achieve. So let's take this one off. So again, I hope you can see this. Everyone right now. Now, do I need the big camera on? Stop share. I need Sonny and share. I need a remote for this. Stop share. Okay, so here is another healthy cell. We've blown it up a billion times to see it. Now, healthy cells are round, okay? Because they're polarized. But another thing that somebody discovered that, get this, healthy cells have even numbers of electrons in the cell membrane. Sorry, electrons in the cell again, Luke? Are you okay? May the force be with you, Luke. You know, so it doesn't matter. I can talk to some people for 18 years. Remember 18 years ago, Luke's talking about electrons in cells. He's talking about, you know, putting electronic machines on people with all sorts of degenerating diseases. But check this. Healthy cells are round because they're polarized and they're in harmony, and they have even numbers of electrons. Huh? Now, I don't know who did that, check it. Now, unhealthy cells, which is the bad guys, are not round. Okay? They're out of shape and they're out of harmony. They're in disease. There is no disease. There's just a billion cells in your pancreas that are free radicals. And you have all of these free radicals recruiting more free radicals, because what free radicals do, they have odd numbers of electrons. A free radical is a cell that's lost an electron. What? So everyone talks about free radicals, scavenger cells. So why are they called a scavenger cell? Because these guys, the bad guys recruit bad guys. And this guy goes to a healthy colony of cells and he steals electrons from all of them. Then they go steal electrons from all the people around there. So this sounds like a gang of terrorists in your cell neighborhood. Well, it is. It's called a free radical infestation into whatever organ. So now free radicals have lost one cell, and that's why they're out of harmony. And now they don't synchronize or align with the healthy round cells. Now, healthy round cells do 10,000 things an hour. They communicate, they talk. Yes, they do. They don't speak English. They don't speak Thai. They speak in what's called cell communication. Sorry, Luke, these tiny little cells have a language. They have cell signaling. They have cell communication, because they make my hair. Every time I shave, they make new hair. So there's billions of communication happening in our healthy cells, but then the bad guys come along who have been polluted that are missing one electron, and they keep stealing electrons from healthy cells. So this is what you do. And those one electron less cell are out of shape because they've lost, they're out of balance, they're out of shape, they're in dis-ease, they're not disease. So now they become a terrorist in your cellular community. So bad guys, free radicals, recruit and get bigger and bigger. And then good guys have even numbers. So this is back to antioxidants. So we want to share with you, what is really going on. There's not just biology happening. I call it electronic biochemistry. I don't know if that's in Google it. I call it electron biochemistry. It's chemistry, it's biological chemistry, but there's a lot of electronic things happening in this too, okay? That's why 80% water. Okay, so now this is the free radical. He breaks free from the healthy colony. Then he starts a gang of free radicals stealing electrons in good neighborhoods. So free radical, why is he called a free radical? He breaks free and he's a radical. He's an extreme cell recruiting more bad cells. He's a bad guy. So let's add the antioxidants there. So we've had antioxidants, good for anti-aging, or anti-free radical cream has antioxidants. Vitamin E is an antioxidant. Vitamin D is an antioxidant. Polyphenols an antioxidant. So, but what they actually all do, the last thing they're doing is they break up, go through your stomach, and the last thing they do is they look for 6 cells. Sorry, they look for 6 cells. They find the 6 cells and they donate an electron. And then once you donate an electron to this bad guy, guess what happens? It goes back into polarization because it's electronic charges on the cell membrane. So now we have the right magnetic polarization for the cell to be round. Now cells are like little round balloons, okay? This is the outside. So we're just talking about the differences on the cell membrane, the electron potential difference. Then we're talking about the bad guys. You lose electrons and you got a lot of bad guys in the neighborhood. If it's in your kidney, a lot of free radicals, we call that kidney disease. I just call it cells at disease. There's no disease in my world. There's just pollution, and it's not the environment you got to worry about, it's the environment. So how to clean up your terrain? We need good water. So when you go back, so I'm just giving you little bite pieces of how to make your cells happier, rounder, balanced, in harmony, and stronger, and then make lots of ATP and have good cell signaling for the 10,000 reactions every hour they're doing, okay? 10,000 reactions, and different cells do 10,000 things. So we've got a lot of stuff happening here. So I want to share with you. So I did about electronic medicine. Then I discovered good water. So let's go to the next journey of my 18 years of how to make cells happy. Share screen. Catherine, it likes your fingers. This is a brand new laptop. I know. I don't know. You know, this too. Here we go. We got it this time. So we're going to go back here. How's our time going, guys? So I'm pressing a lot of science into it, but I'm keeping it very simple. And don't worry, at the end, we've got a big star. We've got a star, guest star appearance coming at my 17 years. Okay, where do we go? Let's try again. Yeah, no, can't be that one. That starts again. Okay, let's try again. This arrow, that arrow, this arrow, no fairly arrow. Okay, so you move forward.
Right click.
Right click. Here, next, let's try this one. Okay, we'll do the main one. So I learned, I don't know if this is running automatic now. So I started with electrons, I started with microcurrent, and then when I treated people for all sorts of degenerative diseases, I had to give them a lot of water because the micro treatment made massive cells open and push out toxins. So again, old dirty cells don't work. And when they're dirty cells, they can't make enough ATP to make energy to push out the pollution. And when you've got a lot of pollution in there, your cells are stagnant and they can't do those 10,000 jobs they need to do internally, not to mention the cell membrane. Now, cancer cells, I'll remind you, are minus stage 4 cancer, minus 20 millivolts, okay? That's the electronic potential difference on the cell membrane. Can you believe they can measure it, that tiny space? Now, the other thing about cancer cells, which come up when you're treating cancer with Dr. Ishak and myself, is we had a lot of experience with cancer patients and a lot of stage 4, is cancer cells have very stiff, hardened cell membranes. And actually cancer cells create a firewall where you can't put any vitamins in or even medication in, and you can't get toxins out. That's why they burn them. That's why they sort of nuke them with chemo, because you can't get in or out that stiff, hard cancer cell that has no ATP. It's not making any energy. The immune system has dropped to just a pulse. So again, back to ATP. The more ATP you make in your cells every 8 seconds, the stronger your immune system is. Okay? So we're talking about not fixing anything. There's no one disease. There's 57 systemic problems that are polluted and they're not doing their job, and then this pops out. And then you'll find that person gets sick from something else later because they have no energy and low immune system. So ATP is the regulator to your immune system's power. If you have no energy, you can't run your immune system. Okay, so I had to get good water to flush all the toxins out when I opened up the cell membrane ion gateways. So you have vitamins going in the cell membrane, then you have toxins going out. That's what you're supposed to do, okay? But when there's no energy and they're polluted and the cells got stagnant fried oil in it for 20 years eating, the cells nothing in there can float. There's no fluidity inside the cell. There's no fluidity on the cell membrane. The cell membrane's very hard, so they have to chemo it, okay? So you can't get in and out of a cancer cell. So we're gonna go forward on that one. So I made sure I got a water that was a nano water that could permeate the cell membrane because the gates weren't opening. So I give them energy, put the electrons in there, crank up the ATP, got some horsepower, push out the toxins. That's it. If I push out toxins out of 100 trillion cells, will you feel better? Of course you will. You're wasting all your energy on this pollution, not doing what you're supposed to do. When we take all the dirt out of and the pollution out, you're lighter and your cells start to recover very fast, doing their job. And that's healing you, repairing you, recharging you, regenerating you. Okay, let's see if we can go to the next slide. Okay, so we just talked about that cellular detoxification. So you have to be able to open the ion gateways to push out the poison that we take in every day. So it's a bit like a car. We put food, vitamins and food in the front, and it goes through the injectors. We create some energy, ATP. We spin the wheels, but with that beautiful, perfect fuel, there's poison, and that goes out the exhaust pipe. So you get the idea, food in, make energy, got horsepower to walk around and talk, and then toxins out the back of the exhaust pipe. Cells sort of work like that too. So you imagine you put a plug in the exhaust pipe. That's a sick cell. How's that car gonna run? how's that cell going to run? So you got the idea? How do these cells run? We want our cells to run like Maseratis, like mine and my daughter. So I've been experimenting on me and my family of high ATP enhancement. And for more ATP, the more detox. I detox daily. Okay. So now let's go into the next bit. So cell membrane fluidity. So I got the nano water. I got the electrons. This is my 18-year journey to live to 158. Oh, sorry. Did Luke say 158? Well, I'm nearly 60. It's insane. I'm nearly 60. I'm 58. I've got a new baby coming. I've got a 5-year-old. I've got too much ATP. So that's just a little bit of my energy. I'll bring it back. Okay. So some people think I'm on drugs, but actually I'm on pure Qi. Now, the Chinese call this ATP Qi. The Indians, the Hindus call it prana. But that's too invisible woo-woo for me. We're going to talk science. And we want to talk about anything I do has to be medically proven. So there's a lot of gadgets out there. There's a lot of waters out there. I have medical nano hexagonal structured water, which is aligned. Water is the software of your body. So don't forget how you're going to get the nutrition there. Your blood's 80% water. So what about if you had dirty water in your body and dirty cells? How are you going to feel? How do you get out of bed? Dirty cells, dirty water. How do you work? How do you get to work? You fall asleep on the train at 4 p.m. I see young people standing on trains. That's dirty cells, no nutrition, no ATP. They finish at 5 p.m. Me, I can't go to sleep till 5 a.m. Okay, so basically what we do is clean your cells, lubricate your cells, hydrate your cells, get the drought out of there, get the mud out of there, clean it up, polish it up, put some nice hydration in there. Water is important for cell signaling, and it does a lot of transporting in your body. So water is 80% of us. Our brain's 87% water. So my second discovery in anti-aging and cell generation was nano water to clean and hydrate the cells that are not open. Now, all these different technologies do different things. But I'm on a lot of them. I can share with them on a lot of them. And I'm going to keep looking for the next technology, or like I've just discovered, the next cell regeneration golden syrup, but it's still a hybrid technology. It might be oil, but it's technology for 2021, and it's not what we've been drinking, cod liver oil, and it's not olive oil. This is an infusion of what the cells exactly need to clean up and kick out the bad guys. Now, the bad guys in the cell is too much omega-6. So we'll move into that soon. So what we want to do is put our cells back in harmony, okay? And then they won't be in disease. Disharmony equals disease. It's right in your face. There's no disease. I don't have diseases. I've only been in the hospital in 58 years for a dog bite. Okay, so once we put the good water in, we're making ATP. We're flooding all the poison out of there. We're hydrating the cell like a farm, the soil. Do you want to grow good cells and good grass? You need good energy, the sun. You need good water, and you need good fertilizer or good oils or good supplement, superfoods, okay, that the cells like. Only give the cells what they like. That's not going to happen in Asia. So the other problem I have with my technologies is a lot of them are a bit too scientific for most people to understand or believe in. Number two is basically, even people have brought my machines. I'm going to show you one of my machines I brought to Asia. This is the Body Harmony I brought out here. Michael brought one off me. How long ago? I don't know, 10 years ago. I introduced this technology from America about 15 years ago. Now, 15 years ago, this box looks like 15 ringgit. We introduced these for how much money were they? 8,888 ringgit. The price of a new motorbike. Can you imagine? I went to Malaysia 15 years ago, say, hey, mate, let's put this box on there. It's 9,000. They can buy a new motorbike. So again, there's a lot of resistance to my electronic medicine. So that was frustrating. If I talk to 100 people, maybe only 5 open their mind. So I don't like to be a 5% guy. Okay, so I want more people to get younger, and I want to inspire change in people. So I've actually going with the water was actually good because everybody understood water. Everybody knew water's good for you, but they're all drinking poisonous bottled water, and they're drinking big water. They're drinking acidic water. You know, water it's supposed to be alive. So I make live water, live nanohexagonal structured water for the last 7 years. So that was my next discovery for me, my family, and my patients and friends. So this is my journey to keep Luke young for another 100 years. Okay, so here we are, the start of the show. Michael's going, what is Luke going on about? I thought we're here to talk about oil tonight. Well, we are, because I want to be very clear. I've traveled the world talking to professors and doctors about cells, which is pretty funny when I don't have a medical degree, but I have many gurus. I don't know where that page went. I have many gurus who've taught me many things, and I've studied 18 years from 5 or 6 gurus, plus 18 years of my own training, plus me being the guinea pig, my wife being a guinea pig, and some very, very sick people that are alive today. Okay, so we don't want to make too many big claims, but I've seen what are things that people would call miracles in Malacca, myself and Dr. Ishak, and in Thailand. So now my new discovery from microcurrent to make ATP, open the gateways, clogged cells can't open. Let's open them up, give them some energy to open the door, let the vitamins in, kick out the bad stuff. Second one is the nano water, flood the stagnant, hydrated stuff in it, get it hydrated, because water is pretty important. And the beauty I like about the water, once they brought this $15,000 machine of me, it's on their sink, and I don't have to call them to put the machine on. Because even Michael Lowe from Shanti Santri, who's offering this amazing health test together, we've teamed up, he brought this off me many years ago, and he said, wow, that's expensive, Matsale. Well, and it's a lot of money. Now, the problem when I put this on people, they got better. They got fantastic. And when they get better sometimes, they put it in the cupboard, but they complained it was expensive. Now, I went to Michael about 2 months ago, where's your body harmony machine? Oh, I'll have to dig it out. I haven't seen it for 5 years. So I don't like that about my high tech, because people with the water, it's on your sink. You pay $15,000 for it. You'll drink the water. I don't have to remind you. You see it. I paid money for that machine, so I don't have to be the babysitter. I don't have to keep reminding my patients. You know, health takes daily maintenance and discipline. I might be a funny guy, but my health, I'm very disciplined in. So now my third discovery. First one is ATP. Second one is Q10. I have the best Q10 in the world. I can let you know about that. That's pretty important to me. And there's no sense taking vitamins if you got no Q10, because you don't have enough power to process the vitamin into power. So vitamins are not on my top 3 lists. Okay. So next up, we got balanced oils. Okay. Now, some of you know this. Some of you might be new. I don't know. But I want you to understand the mechanics and the chemistry and the fluidity and the cell membranes. If there's problems there, you're going to have problems inside. Okay. So the oils I'm new at. And when Michael told me about this amazing Zinzino balanced oils, and 3 other people did the same way. I went, guys, I'm the high-tech cell guy. I'm the cell technology, ATP, optimization, sports coach. I'm not a supplement guy. I take supplements, but I don't usually want to promote them other than the best Q10 in the world, but I don't work for that company. So I don't see myself at 58 going from $100,000 medical devices. Yeah, I'm doing well. In the pandemic, thanks, Michael, I'm now gone from 100,000 ringgit medical devices that I used to sell $1 million a week worth to doctors, down to, hi, Kristen, my climax of my life and my journey in 18 years, this is where we're going, is this bottle of technology. It's a hybrid infusion of things that the cell needs. But I'm not a supplement guy, but I had to look at this because 3 serious people called me. Now, again, we've learned a bit. I've taken about 2 months to study omega-6, omega-3. I'm listening to all the professors. And most of these talks, most normal people in this room, on this Zoom, don't understand what they're talking about. So I just want to give you little bits of how the cell works and how there is no disease. There's this disruption, internal pollution in the environment, You want to fix the environment, save the planet. If you don't clean your environment, yes, the sludge in your brain, the omega-6, that's why you lose your memory. You got this brown sludge on your brain with old age, okay? So this stuff is a technology. That's why you've got me. Two things. It's cell regeneration. Michael told me, Luke, I've got something for cell regeneration. Then he told me it's a bottle of oil. Going, whoa, 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 whoa. It sounds good for me. Sounds good for my daughter. I know all that. I put oils in my coffee and bulletproof coffees, but I don't want to talk about oils. That's not true anymore. So basically, we're learning a little bit about balanced fatty acids. When you have this rebalance all your cells, a lot of disease, especially with emotional women, don't take me the wrong way, women are very sensitive and they have a lot more hormonal changes, okay? So a lot of problems, anxiety and depression is hormone imbalance. Now, when you balance your fatty acids, like this amazing Zinzino Balance Oil does, you're gonna balance a lot of things out, okay? So another thing that's very, very important that I've discovered is, when you got a swollen knee, that's inflammation. But actually, most people in Malaysia that I see, 90% of them have cellular inflammation. And there's two things. If you know about inflammation on a cellular level, that's going to create a lot of disruptive systems in your cells and your body and your organs, which is going to create 27 future degenerative diseases of slow suffering. So degenerative diseases, you don't catch them, but they make you weaker and weaker and nothing's running right. So you can't get out of bed, you can't go to work, you might have got a disability, you're struggling and struggling, and you can't go to the gym because you've got no energy, you're too sluggish, you're overweight, and then you've got bad hormones, and you get depressed, so it's a pretty downhill thing. Then the doctor gives lots of medical drugs, which take more energy from your organs because there's so many side effects. Okay, so let's go to antioxidants purpose. We talked about that one's done. They donate electrons. So there is some antioxidants in our beautiful star today, the Balance Source from Zinzino. Okay, so it's got antioxidants. So there's other things it does, but the antioxidants, what's important in this Zinzino is the polyphenols. That's the biggest word I want to use today. I don't want to use big words. And that if you get a fish oil and put the polyphenols, the olive oil together with this fish oil, this amazing wild tiny fish oil, you're going to stop the oil going oxidized. Oxidized is going to create a lot of free radicals. Free radicals are bad guys. The cells don't work anymore. They age you faster and disrupt your healing systems. If you have lots of free radicals, this oil is going to come in and donate electrons, and it's also going to do some fluidity. So let's talk about the free radical infestation in your cells, and then how to transform them back to a healthy cell. This oil can do that, but it's doing it differently to my microcurrent, and it's doing it differently to my water. The more I learn, this is my new tool, my new discovery for my anti-aging protocol toolbox. And it's a supplement, it's a superfood. But now we're going to talk about a few things, how to avoid cell inflammation, how to avoid cell oxidization. We want to have cells that are in harmony. We want to have a strong immune system. And again, the vitamin D3 in here, if you want to look on the internet, how important that is to stop COVID virus for the people that are in trouble. So if you've got any elderly people that are in the bad range, we can help. Now, when I heard about this oil as well, my wife has severe depression. All my machines couldn't work except for another machine last year we can talk about. Didn't work on my wife's depression. I could help the auntie and the grandmother, and I've done gangrene limbs, I've done diabetes, I've done stage 4 cancer, me and my machines and doctors, but I couldn't help my wife's depression. My $250,000 worth of technology, my 18 years of alternative knowledge can't help your wife. Life's like that. So the summary is Zinzino is a cell regeneration supplement or food. Okay, for me, it's definitely anti-aging. This is my personal opinion. It's not to do with the company. It's definitely when you clean up your cells and do this house cleaning, you're going to have cleaner, happier cells, which are probably like 10 years ago. That's called reverse aging. Okay, your cells are younger and stronger than your age. So we can do this. So this is my third layer to my layers of anti-aging technologies, but it's not a machine. Okay, it's a gold syrup in a bottle. And I'm not going to talk about all the medical science of the different omega-3, omega-6 in the bottle, because that's another hour. So let's go to the next one. But what I've discovered in my own 2-month study, these are definitely the top 10 to me that this Zinzino benefits you'll get from what it does by coming in. And maybe I'll stop there and show you one of the main things it does. It makes your cell membrane fluid again and soft. So that's pretty much, that's really important. You don't want to have stiff, hard cells, because you know what that is. Okay, but the cell fluidity softens the stiff, stagnant cells, okay? I can't see the last word on there. Let me move this photo. Oh, okay, someone. And now we all know you do the dry blood test. Okay, so if this company, Zinzino, did not have the medical dry blood test, I wouldn't be sharing or discussing this with people. That's why when people tell me about this, I'm okay with a supplement or a superfood, because everything I have is medically proven. Now, there's a lot of machines out there. They're TENS devices, they're bioresonance. That's pseudoscience to me. And just because it's electronic, I don't believe in it. I have an ultra microcurrent technology I brought to Asia, and I've seen what it does. I'm trained by the inventors, and I've been studying it a long time. I started off with another machine, so that's technology. But this ultra microcurrent, I have FDA, I have medical case studies for many, many things. So if it wasn't medically proven, I'm not putting my face or name to it, because it's not provable. And when I used to have to talk to doctors, you know, no medical science. So this is the game changer. You know, I've been having cod liver oil since I'm a kid. I've had olive oil, I drink it. I have coconut oil in my coffee. But if I had all of those oils that's in this bottle, it's not going to work like this. I want to be very clear. This is not just fish oil with olive oil with vitamin D3. It's the way it's put together. And I'm already getting some of my friends and my partners are getting amazing results already. You know, I have one friend, he's lost 7 kilos in 30 days. That's my personal friend. He just can't believe it. He's got a lot of energy. He's a very sick man. He's one of my patients, but he's very happy with the Zinzino already. So the good news is your blood is going to be changed, because cells in your blood, 2 million cells, blood cells die every hour. Just so you know. So every hour, 2 million blood cells die. This is just your blood cells. So, but guess what? They've got to be replaced. Now, to replace a cell, you need energy to make another cell. Now, if the cell's no good, this is premature aging and degenerative disease is a bad cell. The last thing it has to do is make another cell. If that's 10 million cells, you're going to make 10 million cells that are worse than the last one. A good cell makes a good cell. A bad cell makes a worse cell. So this is proven with about 750,000 people with medical tests, okay, that people get amazing results. And it's a blood test, which is a very specific, efficient blood test, better than any other dry blood test. If you want to look at it, they're doing different things, okay? So if there was no medical blood test evidence for this, I cannot get involved and promote it other than self-consume. So that was the game changer. So 120 days, you're going to have new blood. Is that good news? New blood in 120 days? When's the last time you had new blood? Okay, and all you got to do is do this. Now, the other thing, I don't know if Michael agrees with this. When you look after very sick people, usually sick people don't have discipline, and they come to you when they need help. And then I've got to babysit them for 3 months and get them good. And then they're good for 6 months, and then they go back to their bad habits, and they call me back a year later. Then I've got to look after them again. So the discipline for a lot of health is all you have to do with this. Just drink it every morning like a ritual, or before you go to bed, whatever you want. And that, even a lazy, depressed, lethargic, overweight person can do that. I'm not picking anyone, but they're the people that need this. They're depressed, they're lethargic, okay? So this is all you do, and the results are amazing. So all this other stuff, I had to put machines on, you had to come to me, had to buy a machine. So that's expensive. So the other thing I love about Zinzino, we okay? Okay, I can see this or not? Okay, oh, let's do this. We missed something. We missed something very important. So I'd like everybody, if you got a Zinzino, you thought I was going around the bush, is what I like about a supplement like this, which is a technology involved, is most sick people have no discipline. And then I have to keep babysitting them and babysitting them. When they get sick, they call me back and they've got to babysit them another 3 months. Then I've got to go put the machine on. Then I've got to tell them to use the water. Then they say, put the machine on. So I don't want to do that anymore. I've got another baby coming. I can't babysit people. I'm not single anymore. So discipline, there's no discipline needed with this golden syrup. It's just that easy. Everybody can do this. And they lose 7 kilos and they still eat the same mamak store, which we're going to clean all that stuff out. Now, my question was when I started studying this, how can this remove so much sludgy, dirty omega-6 pollution from those fried oil blocks so fast? Well, the answer to that is you only need 10 commandos to take over a city. You don't need 1,000 soldiers. Now, this oil is the commando. This hybrid technology is the marine seals that comes in and slides into your cells. Now, let me finish that beautiful stuff. Cheers. If anybody wants to have a Zinzino, cheers to you. So, without getting too technical, on your cell membrane, can we see this? Okay. When your cell is full of omega-6, the cell membrane, you got all these straight receptors. And then they're right across it. So there's no room or flexibility for any vitamins or enzymes or hydroxides that have got to come in the iron gateways. Now, my machines open up the iron gateways, but it's not opening up different doors that this omega-3 opens different doors. They're actually in a cell membrane, the door's not in the same spot. And sometimes a little thing's got to come in or a triangle thing's got to come in. And this is the cell signaling. They got special codes like a remote to open this door for vitamin E. They got another remote cell signal to open the door for insulin. So this one on some of our top 10s, this is going to be very interesting for diabetics, okay? The research I've already done. So now the omega-3 comes in and it has a flexible, moving, wider receptor in your cell membrane. So this means it should be flexible. That's why I'm saying grow with the flow, go with the flow. When you got all these rigid guys here, nothing can move, the cell gets hard, and there's no fluidity, and there's nothing coming in or coming out. And then, now the omega-3 gets in here, we have lubrication, softening. Now, we're also having some amazing results from Vincent, who did one of our arterial tests. And he was very impatient, Vincent. Is your brother, is it Jeffrey? He did this amazing test that Mike was giving to people on stiff or flexibility of arteries. Now, we know the omega-6 softens and makes your cell membrane flexible from the information and the AEs that people have been using it. But Vincent, if you're listening, he couldn't wait 4 months to do his RC test again, and he did it, and the oil is the only thing he's changed, and this has improved. He had a very bad one. I think it was a type 4, Catherine, Vincent, and in 4 weeks, he had no patients. He went back and asked Catherine for another test, and it's a remarkable. Kristen, this is a different case study to the blood test. This is arteries, and he's got amazing results already in 4 weeks from the Zinzino Balance Oils. So we're all pioneer guinea pig case studies in Malaysia. So you're really in a good place. And in another 3 months, we're all going to get excited with our results, both tests, thank you, the RC1, the artery one, and our dry blood test. That's when this is going to explode. But back to here, we need a nice, we got all this sludge. I want to show you most people's cells. See that? That's all dried up, stagnant omega-6 fried oil. You got all this stuff got to move around here. This is some other toxins. It can't come out. And now you need to come in and take that out, and you open up the gateways and push it out. And the Zinzino is going to take that sticky, sludgy omega-6 fried oils, saturated infestation, and it's going to push it out the gateways. And then it's going to to let the good guys in. It's going to let the good oil in there. Okay. Not easy to do this with a whiteboard and a pen and a button. So now imagine your cells are not dirty black sludge in your brain. And there's this beautiful gold lubrication in the cell membrane, in the brain, and in here. We want it here. Now, the main other thing that's very important with getting these omega-6-3 receptors, that gives flexibility to everything to be fluid again. Fluid inside the 10,000 reactions, so your cells can do their jobs. Just let the cells do their jobs, but they need hydration and lubrication. They don't need dirty, sticky sludge, like an oil tanker leaves on the ocean. The seagulls are trying to get out of it. Have you seen it? That sludge? Well, this oil comes in and diffuses and kicks out the sludge. It doesn't diffuse it, somehow it kicks it out because they listen to the omega-3. The omega-6s listen to omega-3 because they're the boss. Okay, so this is how we want to share with you. There's so many things. Let's get back to some other benefits. So soft membrane, things can come in and out. Your doors can now open. Let the good things in. And the other thing it does, it stops inflammation, the omega-3, okay? So that's pretty important. Cheers. Let's finish up as quick as we can. So it's a little bit, it's not a product-based talk. It's about a puzzle of how to get the cell what you want. Oh, water, please. Oh, I did a big shot on that one. Okay. We'll go back to here. Let's stop share screen, is it? Or share screen. Let's try again. Let's see how the new buttons are going. Okay, we'll try and wind up. Okay, so let's go through the list. The benefits that I believe, definitely from what I've seen, this is going to regenerate and protect your heart and help prevent heart disease and protection for the heart and your arteries. Okay, that's my opinion from the research I've done already. Now, there's so many more. Let me move to the next one. Oh, here we go again, Catherine. Huh? Right click, next. Okay, we have to do it the manual way. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is big, the brain EPA, DHA lubrication and removing that brain sludge. Dementia, old age, you know, you might know about it, I do know about it. There's this oily stuff that starts going all over your brain. It's called brain sludge. So this is going to kick that out there. No, just so kick out the bad guys and you start getting everything running again. Cell signaling, this is very important. Okay, for so many things that's happening. This is the key one that I've discovered studying the cell signaling of the cell membrane. The cell signaling of so many thousands of things your cells need to do with cell communication and electrobiochemistry in these amazing cells are little universes. There's so many things happening. They're little universes. It's like a whole small galaxy, not a universe. They're little galaxies. So many things happening in there. If you want to study them, they're intriguing. Now, this one's very important. So this omega-3 improves the insulin intake. When you're very sludgy, diseased, you've got this all the wrong saturated oils in there, you start to not open the gates, or the gates open wrong with the wrong cell signaling. And this is with diabetes. They get the wrong cell signaling. So this cell signaling is reformed and the sugars are coming in, but no insulin. Okay? So this cell signaling is reformed to a better state. So this is going to be very exciting for diabetic people. When you study the cell signaling, it brings more insulin in for the sugar that's getting put in, too much sugar. So it's all out of balance. That's why it's called balanced oils. Get back balance and back in harmony, and then there'll be no disease. It's just how it is. So next is improve your insulin intake. So that's proven already from other professors. Now, I haven't studied too many people from Zinzino because they're from Zinzino. So I've gone to many, many sites to listen to other professors, what they say about normal omega-3, not Zinzino. Okay? Normal omega-3, what it can do. Okay, there's lots of things to do. We can't fit it in 1 hour. So it improves this insulin for your soul. So it's a balanced oil. Let's go for the next one. Let's see if we're going to be lucky. Oh, we have to do a click. Okay. Next one is 7 is better cellular detoxification. So that's very important to me. This is where if you don't have this gateways opening and it's sludgy and it's not fluid, how the hell to get it out? It's just getting dried up. Like imagine you didn't change oil in your BMW for 10 years or an oil filter. That's what you're doing. So you put good oil in your car. It's time to put good oil in your cells and your body. Okay, next one is it's proven better emotional balance, better sleeping. Number 10, stronger immune system. So that's pretty important for COVID. So I'll leave it at that. It's very hard to fit my 18-year journey in. I don't know if you want to continue. Time's up. I hope you can put all the pieces together, why I'm excited, but why I went to a food supplement, but it's not. It's the latest technology of everything your cells want. Zinzino, Balance Oils. Luke Mitchell, Matrix Mitch. Sorry, I had to squeeze it all in there. I hope it helps you put the pieces together, how to make your cells happy again and reverse aging and sleep better and lose weight. How about that? I don't need to lose weight, do I? Okay, anything over to you, Michael.
Round of applause. Thank you very much, Luke.
Thank you very much for your valuable time.
Very insightful to understand how cells actually work. Now, in my previous talks, we talked a lot about cellular regeneration, cell membrane and all. And tonight, all of us got a chance to understand from Luke Mitchell some insights to how actually cells are powered, cells are kept fluid, cells are then able to have the nutrient and also toxic being flushed out. So the importance of these trillions of cells in our bodies. So thank you very much, Luke. Is there any questions from the floor?
Are they still awake? Oh, you're not running on electrons like me. That's why you the oils, you know, you got to have oil and water and good electricity in the car. So let's treat yourself like that. Any questions?
Okay, go ahead. Ask Luke. He has a lot of experience in the past dealing with different tools to optimize cell functions. And I'm very pleased to hear from Luke that he has found Zinzino Balance Oil to be one of the very effective tools that help rejuvenate and to revitalize our cellular membrane. So that's very inspiring message to get from Luke here.
But the main thing, sorry, Mark, I didn't want to, don't get upset, is again, I cannot change Asians' desire to eat so much amazing food. So what my problem is when I try to make people healthy, they won't change the diet. That's no sense to me trying to do that to a Chinese person here. You just can't, look at their smiling. Is so what I love about this, you guys can still eat all this stuff and just sip this stuff and clean out the bad stuff, and you still can have all that food that you're never going to give up. So health, you know, a lot of people have changed their diet, but this one, you can still do all the bad stuff. So there's no discipline needed, just a little thing in the morning or night. So I like that's a good path to start people. And when they lose weight, they get more energy, they might want to go to the gym in 6 months, but they're still going to eat the nasi lemak. They're still going to get the bihun noodles. They're still going to go to the mama. So that's the difference between all my other stuff, is I have to babysit. My other stuff is expensive. Everybody can afford this life-changing Zinzino Balance Oils. That is important to me. And I don't have to babysit you. You buy a bottle and you can reorder it and you just have it every morning or every night. So this is for me, I don't have to keep coming back for the same habits. So you can have bad food and get better. It's proven. I've got a few people doing it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much. Now, if there's no questions, now being tonight a Partners Insight session, I'm just going to throw another 2 minutes in on this. Is there any new testimony that we can hear from any of these partners out there? Last week, we heard something from GT Tan that was so inspiring of his father. His father that was very, very ill, that was recovered and you know, basically from a very dull state of health into a very pink state of health. That was last week from GT. Is there anyone this week that would like to share from your experiences?
You want to share about Vincent, your brother?
Because testimonial. Testimonials are very important.
Vincent, please get Vincent to speak up. He's had his RC test, and what's happened to him? Because I've only heard it secondhand, and I heard he's very happy with his changes with his second arterial test. Please, Vincent, please share. Please, Vincent, what's happened to you?
Go ahead.
Is Vincent there?
Vincent is here.
Is he willing to
He's
share?
on the group. Vincent Howe, right?
Yes.
Right.
Can you unmute him? Maybe he doesn't know how to press. Us, the people over 50, we're terrible. You know that. We need these millennium assistants.
Can we unmute him?
Can somebody unmute Vincent?
Oh, okay. Well, you see, he's totally dumbfounded with what you have shared tonight, Luke. I guess.
Okay.
Well,
we'll get him on next week because I want to hear what he did because he went and did a second test, didn't he? He's your brother. So Jeffrey's here. So he went and did he didn't wait for the 4 months. He went and did a second test, and he's got amazing results on your test machine with Catherine. What happened with him, Vincent?
Wow.
Oh, sorry. Thank you very much. Let's unshare that. Thank you very much for your valuable time. There we go. Hello. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, Catherine, did you notice any changes in Vincent's too? He doesn't want to share. He had his first one and then about another one 4 weeks later, and his first one wasn't very good. Is it okay for you to share his, or that's confidential? He has to share it. Cannot. Okay, that's private confidential. So Vincent, we have to get you to talk next week. I want to meet you and hear about it.
Okay, right. I think we should line up some testimonial every week, right?
Yes. Well, again, Moses
going to be very important for everyone.
I'll share with Moses. Has said he's lost 7 kilos, and he's now lost things under his arm. He's not, and but what he says is after he has this Zinzino, he had his tummy flopping over. It doesn't flop, and he said my stomach burns for 15 minutes. So that's like a keto diet. So this oil's burning off the battle. But everyone's going to have their different results, Michael. People's going to have different reactions. That's okay. But he's like, yeah, it's like it's burning all my fat off. And now I've got muscles. He's showing me his arms. I'm not going to the gym, and I've got muscles that's burning fat off my arms. I've got to see my muscles. So we have to get Moses on video. It's his birthday on Wednesday because he's really, really having great results. But again, we got to get him to share face to face because people won't believe. Here's the other thing when you do great things, Michael. If you tell people this oil is doing so many things, it becomes snake oil, unbelievable story. So that's why we need people. Even with my electronic medicine, only after people use it, they can share it. But if you told them, they won't believe you what it does. So we can't tell people. We need you to share it because that's your experience, not Luke and Michael's.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Luke. It's a good show. So, okay, on that note, well over an hour. So I thank you everyone for your time again for this evening, for this week sharing. The next chat will be on Wednesday. That's for customers procurement. We look forward to Luke having another version of his insights to share with us in the weeks to come. Okay. Now next week we have an agenda, so I'll share that.
This is a rush job. It's a bit short for me, it's a bit short. An hour. I need 2 hours, lovey. I had to squeeze 18 years of this, an 18-year journey into 45 minutes. That's a lot. But I hope you got the pieces together. There's a lot of things to make yourselves happy. This is the best one. It's the easiest one. It's